weeks perhaps. Your biggest headache in the education sector will be as early as January, when 2.5 million students will have to transition into secondary school. How are you going to address this crisis of congestion? Because already secondary schools are congested.
I know I will not be the first one to address it. I know there are studies, there are recommendations which have not been able to go into them. But first of all, we have talked about the fact that we introduce free education from Kenyans from the lowest unit to the highest unit. And remember, my government is different from the other. We are saying we will have the money because we are going for the money where it is.
Free education, basic education is in the Constitution. It's enshrined.
Yes, but
primary
it's not
and secondary.
there.
Are you saying that you are also going to give university students free education?
We are talking also of university students. It's from the lowest to the highest. And that's something apparently I have found almost every.
How are you going to fund that if already our education sector is in a crisis?
I am the only candidate who has a solution to where we'll get money to find our economic. I am the only one. Look at my proposals. I'm the other one who is going for the juggler. And I'm not just that, I am saying we'll go even for the big fish. It doesn't matter who you are. If we have an abacha in this nation, we'll get money from that abacha. That's what we are saying. We are so serious on this matter. But to come back to your question, education is a problem at many levels. We've talked of free education. We've talked about consultation. Right now we have the CBC, and we know what a problem it is. And we will sit down with the stakeholders. We will consult. We will have to find ways, but I think we are going through the first period of the problem is the CBC. Like they're overlapping.
My question is not about CBC. It is about the immediate problem that you're going to face, which is to find space for 2.5 million students in secondary school. You wouldn't have much time.
Because we have money, we'll find a way out.
So if we have money by January?
Makeshift shelters, we'll have to do that. But I'll tell you what, I'll be taking a corrupt country, but I'll be coming in, both a corrupt and a broke country, but I'll be coming in with money. But I think there are no easy solutions, and I hear your concern. These are matters that we will have to see what we can do. And some of the possible solutions will be to look for ways, makeshift. We probably might have to go virtual in some form of education.
At the moment, you don't have a plan.
Not for that specific number, but we have a covenant with Kenyans on education. We will put money into it. We will discuss and improve the CBC, not doing away with it altogether. We have that. We have said we'll give free education. In terms of a specific like that, it may not, again, a manifesto can't contain everything. But we have to find ways. Everybody must go to school. If we have to do it virtually, we will have to go that way. If we have to turn some government offices, I don't know, I have not thought about it. Every Kenyan must go to school, must get a learning. It's a problem, I agree. But again, it's a problem we have inherited, and we have to find ways. As a president, I will not sit back. But with money, the sky will be the limit. You know what? Even classrooms, through fabricated materials, you can build classrooms in a matter of weeks, if not days. You understand, there will be money in my government.
You understand, I want to ask you more about education, but you understand even getting that money to Kenya, the money that you're targeting, must be an issue of legislation, must be an issue of the law.
You know, it's at two levels, Ken. I'm talking first of all of our money out there. But I'm also talking of wastage from here.
Okay.
Kenyans showed us in the year 2002 that we can stop corruption. And there was goodwill. Unfortunately, we did not move on and build on that. And when we came back in the current government, we have even gone back to way before the coalition government.
Okay.
I mean, I know because of the steps we are taking, even by waiving away 50% of pay, Kenyans will sit back. Kenyans love their nation. Kenyans know they have a great nation and say, why are we doing this? It's not right.
Okay, let me take you back.
An Agano government of Mwaure Wahiga is seeking to improve our lives. He wants to make us a first world. What we are doing is not right. And not only that, we will defend whistleblowers. Kenyans will talk. Kenyans will talk, come to the truth, and the Recovery Commission and tell what is happening.
I'd like to take you back now to CBC because you mentioned it in your statement. Parents, most parents are crying out and saying it's not working, it's very expensive for them. Some teachers also, including the Teachers Union, NAT and Coupe, took a stand on CBC earlier on. The only institution that took charge is the government, the national government, through the Ministry of Education, and the president, the outgoing president, has mentioned this. From where you stand, my first question is, would you continue with CBC? Would you rethink CBC if you were elected president, and why?
I would rethink CBC in the sense with a view to improving it. I have met parents as well, and I have family members who've got children who are in primary school. And admittedly, CBC has been very costly. Not only that, it's been very involving. But I've met parents from across both ends of the coin, some who have said, there is something good. And I agree because I passed through a bit of CBC. I went to school when we had subjects known as hard work, technical subjects, subjects known as agriculture, where we carried the hoe into school. And by the time I was grown up, there are things I could do for myself because I've been exposed to them. We will sit down with stakeholders and seek to improve it. It can be good for the future, but right now it's expensive, it's demanding. Kenyans don't have money. We can't continue like this. But again, we have said, this is one sector. Education is key. Kenya is where it is because Kenya values education. Kenyans are educated. We can't go back on this. Right now, we are into ICT, and we would like Kenya to be the country that's leading in those areas like other countries.
Okay.
So I have answered your question. We will think with a view to improving.
One of the biggest voting bloc that perhaps you're looking at as a presidential candidate is the teachers of this country. And the teachers of this country have had a very bad run, according to them, with the government, the outgoing government. And they're wondering today, would you guarantee their interests if you were elected president? And would you put NAT back, for example, to where it was probably 10 years ago?
Oh yeah. We have spoken about education. We've talked about increasing salaries to the men and women in uniform. We've talked about the welfare of the men and women in healthcare. I mean, part of the money that should have gone to meet the needs of these people, and they are very critical. I would want Kenyans to be proud to be teachers, to be educators like in other nations. I feel proud when I go home and I meet Mr. Opondo, who is now going to almost 100 years. I haven't seen him in quite a while, who was my primary school teacher, and he is still there. He made me who I am. I feel very proud to walk around and meet policemen who are doing a good day's job, but they are not paid well, they are housing, and so on. I am proud with the little security I've granted to meet young men who love their country, who are doing their job, who want to move forward. I'll take care of their welfare because I will have the money.
All right, we are almost out of time, but I want to bring a question to you about an issue related to health. If you assumed office in August and a few weeks later it was declared that monkeypox was in Kenya, monkeypox has been declared a global health emergency. What plans would you have in place to address this health crisis? And bear in mind, monkeypox would have come just a few days or weeks after you came into this office. Therefore, you wouldn't have had time to get that money from abroad that you keep referring to.
I think the first thing I would like to say with pleasure is that there will be no monkeypox billionaires in my government. And secondly, I'm waiting if the president doesn't do it before I come into power, just like he did with UNGA, and I'm thankful to be the president who will announce